What is up, my beautiful gemstones? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, thanks for checking us out. My name is Gemma Jade, but today we are going to be discussing the suspicious death of Andrew Dawson, the man who filmed a giant. I try to stay away from conspiracy theories here on this channel, but sometimes I come across a story of something happening to someone where I just can't sit back and pretend like something strange isn't happening. I hadn't ever heard of Andrew Dawson or of any of his videos before, and in fact, I hadn't heard of the death either, but once I did. And once I looked through the entire story, what little information there is out there anyway, I knew I had to bring it here to this channel and see what you guys think about it. Many people who do research into paranormal and supernatural topics, particularly now in our modern day, wonder if the government is watching them at least to some small degree. I know that I do, and my name isn't even that big yet. There's also many ufologists who believe they're on some sort of government list as well, depending on not only what they put out to and shared with the public, but also just what they know and have researched privately. Since the earliest days of this type of research existing, there have been stories that have come from the people involved about being watched and or followed by government agencies and other organizations. Stories of mysterious visitors, threats, and even unexplained and mysterious deaths. But nowadays, these stories are crossing over into many realms. More than likely, in my opinion, due to the massive amount of information and how easily one can download it or put it out there into other communities. These other communities include, but aren't limited to, spirituality, paranormalism, and cryptozoology, just to name a few. Today, we're covering the story of a young man who filmed and posted a video of what he claimed to be and what appeared to have been an actual real-life giant, and then he started to become seemingly paranoid about being watched and followed, only to end up dying mysteriously when all was said and done. Of course, and as always, there's a bit more to it than that, including the fact that it seems as though the visits from unidentifiable agencies scared him so much, he either admitted or simply lied and changed the original narrative and started telling anyone who would listen that the video or videos had simply been a one big hoax. But I'm going to tell you the story from all of the information I was able to gather, and I want you guys to tell me if you've ever heard of this before and what you think about it. Because halfway through this, I realized I had watched these guys' videos before. I just didn't understand the whole story, which is what I'm about to tell you guys. So let's jump right in. It started on April 4th, 2022, when Andrew Ryan Watchhorn Dawson posted a video to the TikTok app of what he said was a giant walking across the top of Whistler's Peak Mountain in Alberta, Canada. Just for a bit of context here, Whistler's Peak is an 8,100 foot or 2,470 meters high mountain summit located in Jasper National Park. Andrew said that he and a colleague were driving to work on the route they regularly took every single day that they drove to work, and that they were on a road alongside this mountain. He said he suddenly saw something extremely large either standing on the side of the road or walking across it. He says in the video, quote, "There's some kind of figure," end quote. Media reports about this at the time say that Andrew's colleague didn't see the figure and asked him what he was looking at. This was weird to me and probably will be for many of you as well, because these men are sitting in the vehicle together, and whatever it was, Andrew was seemingly able to record it. If it was that unusually large or gigantic, as it's since been described, they both should have easily and very clearly been able to see it, but it seems the co-worker hadn't, and he wondered out loud what Andrew was looking at and what he was filming. I had to look into this more, and it turns out there's a very simple explanation, and that's that the friend was the one who was driving. So his eyes and focus were on the road and therefore not looking all around like Andrew was easily able to do. Either way, he uploaded the short video, and it seems as though the comments have always been turned off, or they could have been turned off quickly due to trolling and negativity, as is usually the case when someone turns the comments off in their videos, myself included. But in all the reports I used to fact check this script for this video, not a single person had been able to see the comments, no matter how far I tried to go back. The video went viral and gained nearly 2 million views incredibly quickly. All of this immediate public interest seems to have driven Andrew to look more into what he could have possibly been filming that day, and down the rabbit hole he went. His main goal was trying to find someone who could explain to him what he'd actually filmed. He posted more videos days later, and they showed him back at the exact same spot where he'd first seen the creature, or whatever it was, and he was also trying to demonstrate how huge the thing was by showing how far away he actually was from it while filming it. At one point in one of the videos, he said he thought he could have been dealing with Bigfoot. He didn't see the creature again and speculated that it more than likely, quote, comes and goes, end quote. He eventually asked for help flat out and asked for people to magnify the video for him. He requested anyone with access to a helicopter in that area reach out to him, and he was also mentioning sponsors coming forward to possibly help him fund some sort of expedition into the mountain range in order to try and get more answers. He wanted to go out and explore. He wanted to go back to the range and look into, have these things been seen before? What did he actually see, etc., etc., but I don't think he had the money, so that's why he was kind of reaching for sponsors. People were saying maybe he faked the video because he was trying to get money, but he wasn't asking so much for, like, people to give him money. He was asking for funds to fund an expedition into the mountain in search of Bigfoot, giants, all that. In my opinion, he was becoming a bit obsessed with it all, but honestly, I don't blame him in the least. For most people, when he wasn't getting the help he asked for, the person would have more than likely given up and chalked the whole experience up to a once-in-a-lifetime bizarre happening that they think of less and less as time goes by. However, Andrew Dawson wasn't giving up in the least, and he returned to the area more and more as the weeks wore on. On one of those many visits back to the place he first saw the creature, it seems he ran into some trouble, as he then made a TikTok saying, quote, "I just got stopped by some CIA agent, told me to go back, said I was trespassing," end quote. On April 12th, so just 8 days after he posted the original video, Andrew posted another one on TikTok. This time he recounted the encounter with whom he referred to as a CIA agent. There was never any proof of who this person was, that they were CIA, or even that they existed at all. But anyone could see that at the very least, Andrew had been being harassed by someone in the park that day, and he was seemingly very agitated and possibly a bit frightened by it all as well. He said in that video that he would be returning the following day to film some more, and that he would be recording any and all encounters, whether it be with agents, regular people, or creatures themselves. He mentioned in that video as well that it was weird that the road he and his friend had initially been driving on the first time he saw whatever it was now completely and totally blocked off. He ended that video by asking, quote, "Did the thing on the mountain go home?" end quote. The next day, on April 13th, Andrew returned to the area with his dog at around 5:30 in the morning. As far as anyone can tell, at least by the videos he chose to put out there, he didn't encounter any government officials or creatures, but in a video he took of the sunrise that morning, there's clearly some sort of aircraft in the sky. Andrew decided to play the X-Files theme music as the craft flew around in the sky above him. It's purely speculation of what that aircraft was, and most people believe it was just a passenger jet, but some believe Andrew thought it might have been a UFO or something more sinister than a passenger jet, just based on the creepy music he played as it passed above him in the sky. A little while later on that same day, he recorded some helicopters flying above him over the mountain. Also, along with the helicopters, there were a lot of trucks driving by, and Andrew said it looked like they were, quote, extracting something, end quote, meaning the trucks, but most people have said that it's not uncommon to see those same trucks doing those same things in areas like that all of the time. Basically, that everything he was filming was business as usual, but might have seemed unusual to him because he wasn't from that area and wasn't too familiar with the mountains and how things worked around and within them. Also, keep in mind that regardless of who he had actually run into, Andrew himself was under the impression he'd been accosted by a menacing CIA agent who'd all but threatened him, and he also knew he'd seen some sort of giant from beyond this world or realm, so he could have been looking at everything through that lens, and honestly, I don't blame him for the paranoia. He said in one of the videos, quote, "Participating in this activity could result in you or others getting hurt," end quote. Whatever that meant, I guess he meant maybe exploring? The next day, he returned to that spot in the mountains, but this time it was dark outside. He's blocked by someone stopping the road who issued him a warning about trespassing and told him he needed to turn around. The next TikTok was uploaded on April 17th, and it was titled, "Being Stalked." The reason for that sinister title appears to be because Andrew shows a car parked in front of his house. He then goes outside to confront the driver and the people in the vehicle, and the vehicle peels off and rides away at a super high rate of speed without Andrew being able to even catch a glimpse of who was inside. No other videos were uploaded until May 6th when he posted one titled Official Update. He admitted in this Official Update TikTok that everything he'd said and done up to that point had been fake, and he said he was, quote, sorry to disappoint you guys, end quote. It seemed to many, though, like he was being coerced to say those things as he was extremely nervous, and it seemed like he was looking away from the camera at someone else there in the room with him. But there's no evidence officially that anyone else was there with him at all. No one else is seen in the video or heard. The creepiest thing about this video, at least in my opinion, was that he opened it and the first words out of his mouth were, quote, I'm not dead, end quote. He also said, quote, too much has happened and I can't remain silent, end quote. So it seems as though he did a TikTok, seemingly being coerced into saying it was all a hoax, it was all a big lie, he was trying to get attention and gain money and following and all that, but then said, I can't keep quiet. He seemed a little unstable at this point, even to those who believed in everything he was saying. On May 16th, he posted another video that was titled, I am scared, and it's just of him walking very quickly in the dark as though trying to get away from someone or something, but he never says that. It's just implied. On May 17th, he uploaded a video showing all types of equipment up on Whistler's Peak in the exact same spot where he'd originally filmed the creature or the giant. He says, quote, what is that? It wasn't there yesterday, end quote. The very last video he uploaded to that TikTok page was titled Military? ? At this point, many people could look at this whole series of events and say that this was just another person looking to gain a large following, go viral, and receive all of the attention and benefits that go with all of those things. I mean, I know I personally wish I could find some way to do it, and most people who don't know any better believe that's just what Andy was doing. After all, look at all the attention he did get and the followers he did gain from this series. Trust and believe it was tremendous. Millions of views, media coverage in the paranormal community specifically, as well as other media coverage. That would be the end of the story as Andy stopped posting altogether, but there's something that was reported in the Campbell River Mirror on July 1st, 2022. It was an obituary that read, quote, Andrew Ryan Watchorn Dawson, November 4th, 1987 to July 1st, 2022 in loving memory, end quote. The photo accompanying the obituary was the same Andrew Dawson from the TikTok videos, and in the comments you could see people making note of the videos. One of the comments read, quote, such sad news. His TikTok vids are compelling. It looks like real footage he captured on a Men in Black operation on that mountain. Others need to follow up his expose, like local media should look into it, end quote. Another one read, quote, the videos he posted make me wonder what happened. How do you post things like that and just die? Is he dead because of his posts? Was he murdered? I have so many questions. Rest in peace, end quote. A search of Andrew Dawson's social media shows no other mention of anything supernatural or paranormal and nothing else related to Bigfoot, giants, extraterrestrials, or anything out of the ordinary or that could be considered fringe at all. Of course, there are some videos that try to make more connections than there really are, and I don't know if these videos are still even up or not, but I'm definitely going to go look. Unfortunately, without more actual information or tangible evidence, and without even knowing how he actually died, I can't make a determination as to what happened to him. But I do think, absolutely, that it's highly suspicious that he died right after gaining all of this attention for a video of what appears to be an actual giant wandering around in the woods of Canada. I think it's highly possible and even likely that he was taken out because he was refusing to back down on his claims of what he'd seen. We've seen this many times across and throughout many videos here on this channel, mainly in the world of extraterrestrial exposure and people who refuse to stop talking and gaining attention about things they've seen in the woods and things they've experienced within and beyond abductions. I really hope that his death is someday investigated properly, so at the very least his family could have some answers and whatever semblance of closure is possible in a situation like this. Not only that, but if it is ever properly looked into, let's hope the real and actual facts of what happened to him and why are revealed to the public and not kept in some sealed document somewhere that won't even be acknowledged for like another 200 years or so. With that being said, let me know what you all think in the comments, and if you know anything about this case that I didn't mention already here in this video. That's all I have for you today, guys. Please give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. If you enjoyed hanging out with me, spread the love by sharing this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Make sure your notification bell is clicked to on. I always get confused at this part. Make sure your notification bell is on and click to all so you get notified of everything that I post. Shorts, live streams, pre-recorded videos, updates, anything. Check out the description box for some important links, ways to donate to the channel, PayPal, Cash App, my Amazon wish list gift link. In the description box, you'll also find links to all 14 of my books. Kindle, paperback, and Audible is what they're available on. You can go to Amazon and type in Gemma Jade Books and make it easier on yourself. If you want an autographed copy of any of my books, for information about products I sell, other services I offer, personal face-to-face readings, signed books, like I said, anything like that, any and all correspondence should be directed to my email, GemmaJadeParanormal@gmail.com. Follow me on other social medias. My main ones right now are YouTube, obviously, TikTok. I also post a lot on Instagram, Facebook, a tiny bit on X and Snapchat, but not really. So it's either Gemma Jade or GemmaJadeYT here on YouTube, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. Instagram is mainly everything I've already posted on TikTok and YouTube, but I'm trying to gain more of a following, put myself out there more on other social media platforms because I'm trying to not have to depend on donations for my getting paid, right? I want to get paid for the work that I do, not just have people giving me money. That's not working for me anyway. Be kind to each other, guys. It doesn't cost anything. Be kind to yourselves and never accept anything less than others being kind to you. If nobody told you today, you're amazing. I appreciate you. I really do enjoy corresponding with you guys, all of the wonderful friends, and even the people that feel like family to me now that I've met on this platform and across social media. You're just all so tremendous and amazing and kind, and I want you to know that about yourselves. Always go in grace, smile at a stranger, and I'll see you guys next time. Mwah. Bye.